I have never been the biggest fan of change. Although I wouldn't necessarily say I'm scared of it, I can definitely admit to living comfortably with what I know in a moment. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm scared of little changes, like a minor haircut, but I'm more uneasy of big life-changing events where my future seems uncertain. My first life-changing event was the summer before 3rd grade when I moved from my childhood home and had to change schools. My family knows this story very well, because I have not necessarily forgiven them for leaving my 2 favorite toys behind in my old house because they forgot them. At first, it seemed like I couldn't move on from leaving my 2 toys, but as I grew older, I realized that it wasn't losing those toys that I couldn't seem to move on from. Instead, it was the fact that leaving my house and friends felt like I was losing myself because it was all I ever knew. Bringing up those toys was just a scapegoat. I feel like leaving them behind and the move marked the end of peak childhood. The move was abrupt, at least for me, because I wasn't told we were moving until a month before. There were clear signs, but as a little kid, I didn't really pay attention to Zillow tabs open on our family computer or the house tours we took. I was far more focused on closing those Zillow tabs to open tabs for my video games and inspecting the bathtubs from the houses we toured to rate how fun I believed a bubble bath would be in them. Clearly, I was pretty naive. At this point in time, I did not have a way to contact my elementary school friends. So for me, that chapter in my life ended abruptly. With that chapter feeling like it was left unfinished, I started a new one at Elgin Academy. My 3rd grade teacher, Ms. Boborsi, did everything she could to get me out of my shell that I had created after the move. Before, I was a very loud and energetic kid, but at the beginning of my time at Elgin Academy, I was much more sheltered and shy. In my 10 years at Elgin Academy, I have learned to get out of my shell and try and embrace things that come my way. Oops. I have grown and changed for the better along with the rest of my classmates. Still, I've had my fair share of events that have made me feel like change is terrible. Changes that make me wish I could go back to the first chapter of my life in my first house at my first school, with my first friends. Struggling to accept unchangeable events, such as losing my grandparents, put a toll on my mental health. It was truly like I wanted nothing less to go back to being a kid, so I just bottled everything I was feeling up. But the truth is, change is inevitable, and one must embrace it, no matter how impossible it may seem. Things always happen for a reason. Right now, my fellow seniors and I will go through one of the biggest changes in our lives, college. The end of the school year marks the end of our chapter together as we all go our separate ways and start a new chapter. However, this year is a little different from the rest because not only are we seniors going through change, but so is the whole EA community. With the closing of Elgin Academy, we will all be going our separate ways and going to new schools and new jobs away from each other. So I'd like to say that although the future seems a little uncertain and new, I ask us not to forget the fond memories we have created here as a community. And I hope that when we remember our time here at the Academy, we don't look at it as, I wish I could go back, but instead as, I'm grateful for my memories here, and I'm excited for my future and the changes ahead. Now for thank yous. I would like to thank Mr. Kiston for always being willing to help with the assignments he would give, knowing I struggled asking for help, especially in my 2nd year with him when I was alone with a class of only boys. Speaking up with questions was definitely not my strong suit. Thank you to Mr. Matthew for being an incredibly supportive advisor. I wouldn't be where I am here academically without you. Thank you to my friends for making each day here entertaining. It's always something new with all of you. And finally, I'd like to thank my family, who without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Mami, gracias por tolerarme, aunque sé que te causo muchos dolores de cabeza. Eres la mujer más fuerte que conozco y sé que mis abuelitos están súper orgullosos de ti. Papi, gracias por sacrificar todo por nosotros y por trabajar tan duro para darnos la vida que tenemos hoy. Sin ustedes dos no estuviéramos aquí. Los quiero a los dos mucho. Brandon, though you're not here today, thank you for being the best big brother a girl could ask for. Your constant pressing for me to become my best self is my prime motivation. All I want is to make you, Mom, Dad, and Natalie proud of me. Natalie, thank you for dealing with my mood swings, buying me food, and our constant laughs. I would feel so lonely without you, and you definitely put up with me the most. I am so eternally grateful that I was blessed to be your guys' daughter and sibling. Now, enough of my yapping. Up next is Yisha.